was multiple clearly indicates that it was embolic, not thrombotic. I mean, that's, doesn't make any sense that the two strokes have nothing to do with each other. I mean, you can kind of make that argument, but I don't know of anybody that would accept it.
Well, jurors might accept it if their guy comes on and says it's the same, I don't know, artery or...
No, it's basically, it's the same process that caused the stroke. Okay, it was basically the PFO caused both sets of stroke. There's no reason to think otherwise.
Just a minute. Let me find their expert response. Okay. I'm sending this to you now. I'm going to print out a copy for myself.
Okay, let's see.
So I tried to get all of the MRIs together kind of chronologically, although the last...
Okay, who is the cardiologist? Davino?
Their cardiologist?
The cardiologist in this case who saw the patient. He's the one that...
Dr. Bush, David Bush.
Okay, Bush. I'm trying to find Bush's notes.
They would be in the Massapequa Heart records.
Okay. I have Bush. Let's see. This is... August 26, 2010.
Okay, that's between the two strokes. That's all you got?
Well, no, that's what I found so far. It's in here someplace. Okay. Now, basically, he treats this as a done deal.
Yes, as cryptogenic, even though he does a lot of cardiac evaluations. He does a whole, to rule out like AFib and...
Yes, but you see, he didn't have the problem with that note. I see where it says that. He didn't have a regular neurologist. He saw a neurologist in the hospital, and that's not the same thing. You understand? Because there's no continuity. Just because you saw somebody in the hospital, that doesn't make him your neurologist. You just see him for the acute event, and, you could follow up with him if you want, but there's no guarantee. In fact, most of the time people won't follow up. They'll go to somebody else.
Well,
so the problem is that wasn't sufficient. He had to say, okay, I'm sending you to Dr. So-and-so to follow up on this.
He should have done that, yes. But in the hospital chart, the neurologist says follow up with me or follow up with neurologist. Yet the patient didn't get a name or phone number.
Well, did the neurologist give him an appointment? Did he give him a card? Did he give him a phone number?
No, no.
That's like nothing, okay? Because just saying follow up with me, it's like, who are you? Where do I call? Unless the hospital has a system where they automatically arrange for follow-up appointments with all the specialists you've seen in the hospital, then the burden, it's not sufficient to say, because if he had his own neurologist, in other words, somebody he was seeing regularly, and he said follow up with your neurologist, that would be fine. But he didn't have a neurologist. He just saw somebody in the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me see.
Well, first of all, if I were them and they're barking up, whoever their expert is barking up the wrong tree. Nobody really agrees. The majority of strokes are embolic, not thrombotic, and certainly in this case where it's subsequently shown he had a PVO, it's ridiculous to make an argument the original stroke was thrombotic, because then you'd have to argue the first stroke had nothing to do with the second. And you can say anything you want, it's a free country, but I don't think there's anybody legitimate who would accept that argument. In other words, let's say I have AFib and I have two strokes. There's nobody who would say, unless one of them was clearly incompatible with an embolic event, like a